All right, welcome back to Dragon CONpilation by the Pre-Gamers. This is the Cosplay Your Way panel. I'm your host for the hour, Smooth Cosplayer, your favorite salsa dancing cosplayer. And as you guys can see, I got three of my favorite friends and cosplayers in the house. So let's go ahead and get these introductions going. If I can get slide number 2 real quick. All right, oh, I forgot that I'm up. All right, I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about myself. I am, again, Smooth Cosplayer. I'm a IT help desk guy during the day. As my wife would say, I moonlight as a dance instructor, salsa instructor at night. Jabbar, you was really generous with this description, a mashup expert. I like to say mashup specialist, but if y'all want to call me expert, I'm not going to argue. I also have my own YouTube channel. Plugging myself real quick, youtube.com/smooth cosplayer. Been cosplaying and attending Dragon Con since 2012.
Wow.
So let's go ahead on with the our next panelist. Next up, we got Royalty Cosplay. Royalty Cosplay, introduce yourself, please.
Real quick, I guess I'm gonna follow after your lead, Smooth Cosplayer. I'm Royalty Cosplay on Instagram and Twitter. Today is my cosplay-versary of 8 years, like you heard. This is the first time I cosplayed ever at Dragon Con. So I'm really excited about today.
Wonderful.
During the day, I'm an infectious disease specialist, and then at night, I'm actually Shuri from Black Panther. Thank you. Wakanda forever.
Beautiful. All right, who do we have next? Let's get that next slide. Super Fit With Ree.
Hi, okay, I am Sharita, but I go by Ree. Super Fit With Ree cosplay on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. I am an accountant, a mild-mannered accountant by day, and I basically do the fitness coaching thing in the evening time. So join me for fitness and cosplay.
Nice.
All right. Last but not least. If y'all watching at home, get used to this because we at the pool whenever we get together.
We do.
They can't take us nowhere. So anyway, we got Barr Foxx coming up next.
What's going on? I'm Barr Foxx. That's 2 R's, 2 X's. It's the same on all social media platforms. I am the creator of Cosplay Your Way. And during the day, I am a mild-mannered television and film producer. So I get to work with a lot of wonderful people in the industry. Some you may know, some you have seen. And I am here to have a good time and talk to people about how to cosplay your way.
Let's do it.
It's my passion. That's what we want to do.
Amen to that.
Okay, cut this
All right. All right, so let's get that next slide, please. All right, so Jabbar, my computer is not trying to let you be great. Of course, it wants to not respond right now. So if you can, what does that next one say? I believe I know what it says, but
the next one is just basically just describing what is cosplay, just for people that don't know, and for us to just give a definition of what cosplay is and what it means to us, pretty much.
Gotcha. So. Real quick, what does cosplay mean to y'all individually? Like we can go into the dictionary definition of it means costume and play. I mean, it does mean that, but it means something different for each one of us. So if y'all could just sound off with what it means specifically to you.
Cosplay for me is just a creative outlet. I grew up a nerd, just a different type. I was always into wrestling and cartoons like Thundercats and things like that. So I've been into it for a long time, just not the comic aspect of it. But I've always been a nerd, always been an outsider. And it wasn't until I actually was an adult and went to Dragon Con. My husband had been going for years, and he invited me to come one time. He was just pretty much like, you guys have heard this story before, but he was like, babe, I've been going to Dragon Con, and I was just thinking that my friends, they bring their hot wives there in cosplay, and I was just thinking I have a hot wife, and I was like, okay.
Hashtag hot wife cosplay.
So enter a different form of nerddom for me, because then cosplay got added into the mix, and it's just, I enjoy bringing my favorite characters to life. It's just fun.
Awesome. For me, it's a form of creativity. I work in a creative field, but I was behind the scenes a lot in that field, or I am behind the scenes a lot in that field. And I used to have my own television show. I used to be in front of the camera a lot. So I was thinking, what can I do, or what would make me feel whole, where I can work during the day, be behind the camera, but then do something for me that expresses my creativity. And cosplay filled that bill. I was able to do costuming like I've always wanted to do. I was able to grow in the cosplay community and meet all these wonderful people and friends, and it's just the best because we have great photo shoots and we come up with great concepts, and it just lets me push my creativity to the limits and past the limits.
Well, since Barr Foxx, I should say, and Super Fit With Ree stole my answers, I guess I'll add a little something else on. No, but seriously, I do agree with both of you. For me, cosplay is me exercising my creativity, as well as me being like just my full self. Because like Super Fit With Ree, growing up I was kind of really nerdy and stuff, and I liked comic books, and I loved cartoons, and I liked movies, and I liked to play dress up. But back in the day, cosplay wasn't something for young African American females, and so it's kind of shunned. So I didn't start cosplaying until an adult. But the other thing that I'll add on to what both of them said, cosplay for me is actually therapy, because it allows me to have a creative outlet. It allows me to exercise all parts of myself, and like Barr said, be able to meet a lot of people that I would never have crossed paths with before. I mean, life is so serious sometimes and so hard and even isolating, especially during COVID-19. So cosplay is a way for me to be able to still connect to people, even if it's virtually like this.
Oh yeah.
Awesome.
Wonderful. I'm glad you said that, Sawyer, because I would have, if you hadn't said it, I would have asked you to say it, because I remember we were on a panel before and you mentioned cosplay being therapy, and that just to me, and I think that is, it's like that for so many people. Like, I think for some people it's a bit of a, like you said before, peeling back the layers with a lot of things. For some people it's self-esteem rehab. For some people it's ego repair, ego boosting, things like that. A lot of
that for me,
literally. Escapism. Don't forget escapism.
Yes.
Now I want to touch on that first bullet point and that last bullet point, because I believe I'm in the middle of a reboot. I'm going off the memory here. I think that first one is saying attention getting, and that last one is being cos famous. Now, I'm sure we all think that those reasons are legit reasons, valid reasons, but I think there's some people out there who look down on people who do it just for attention, or if attention is one of their main motivations, and they look down on people who want to be cos famous. So let's address that real quick. Why do some people think that those aren't legit reasons, even though I do believe that, we believe they are?
In my opinion, I think that you have some purists out here, some people that's really into the characters and really into the art. And I think those people potentially have an issue when someone just sees pretty costumes or a scantily clad look or body, and they say, hey, I just want to put that on and do that. And then they come out and they do it, and then of course that person gets all this love, because who's going to ignore a beautiful body? We all love beautiful bodies, right? And the purists are like, wait a minute, you don't even know, potentially you might not even know the character, you don't even know what you're doing, you're a model, you're a mannequin, where a lot of them are really, really in it with their heart. So I think that throws them off and bothers them some.
But to touch on that in a different aspect, but even people who are purists, like, I like to research my character before I, cosplay as that person. I like to know everything about that person, that I'm about to cosplay. and it's just for me. It's not because I'm expecting to be quizzed or anything like that. It's just, it's for me. I want to know. And, but let's face it, when I put on my costume, I want attention. I'm not trying to be cos famous, but at the same time, I do want people to take my picture. So, at the same time, we're all kind of trying to get attention here. Let's be real. That's what I feel.
I think a lot of people, now, there are some people out there, I believe, who don't cosplay for attention at all. Just in case any of y'all's watching and ready to jump in the comments.
Fight.
But
what did Ree say?
Having said that, I do think a lot of us need to be really real about how much attention really matters to us. Like, I don't do it for attention, but do I eat it up when I get it?
Exactly.
Like, I'm okay if I don't get any pictures that day, but it's icing on the cake if it does happen. I enjoy having somebody say, "Dang, bro, you just my childhood just walked past me when I saw you," or "I really dig that mashup," or "Dang, I didn't think anybody else knew about that character." I enjoy that. Now, if nobody else says it, I'm cool, but
But we like it.
There's a difference between getting the attention, which we all need sometimes, and a lot of us like, and people that are tagged as trying to be cos famous. There's a big difference, because getting attention on that weekend and getting attention for that fandom that you're in and potentially making some friends and some connections that you wouldn't have made before is a wonderful thing. Of course you want attention. We put on costumes and we take pictures, and we want Marvel and DC and the anime creators and different people to say, "Oh my God, I love that rendition that you're doing." That's attention seeking. It's a difference though, the people that are trying to be cos famous, which is cool, but I think that's where the discrepancy comes in.
Yeah, it's hot. I think it's hot right now, but I think maybe in a couple of years, it's going to go back to just people who are just true fans of cosplay.
Yeah.
And until then, let's just enjoy the beautiful people that's cosplaying. And
I agree. I think part of it is about acceptance too. Like, if you want to be cos famous, that's fine. If you don't want to be cos famous, or you're somewhere in between, that's fine too. But I think in this cancel culture that we're living in, everybody wants to cancel something or somebody for something. And so I'm like, you want to be cos famous, do you, but don't judge somebody else if they're also trying to be cos famous, or if they could care less, if they just want to dress up to just dress up, and vice versa, right? So I think it's just for me, it's about acceptance, but I know everybody else isn't thinking that way necessarily.
I'll say this last thing, and then we can hit the next slide. But like you said, Toya, acceptance. Like, I think whatever your thing is, don't push it on to somebody else. Like, I love accuracy, and we're gonna talk about that a whole lot later. But I'm not going to push that on somebody else. I don't cosplay characters I don't know, but I don't push that on somebody else. Somebody else might be competitive. Don't push that on somebody else. Somebody else doesn't give a flying flock of birds about accuracy. Don't push that on somebody else. Just do your thing. Let somebody else do their thing. Just do you.
That's right. Cosplay your way.
Exactly. Your way.
Your way. I was waiting for it to come out. I'm like, come on.
Right?
Exactly.
I mean, we really are like shoved it in your face today. Like, no shame at all.
We really are.
All right, so let's hit slide number. So I have caught up. Hopefully, I don't freeze again.
Good.
Ain't it weird that the IT guy is having to do that on his own?
You know what? That is kind of ironic.
Yeah. But I'm not having to call IT for it though. I'm doing it on my own.
That's right.
Anyway, slide number 7, please. Travis. So y'all if y'all out there, give a silent hand clap or applause or whatever to Travis and the rest of the pre-gamers crew putting this on, making us all look good in their videos and all of that.
Yeah.
All right. So we got types of cosplay, different lanes. What are you guys' lanes, so to speak, of cosplay?
For me, I think I'm more glam play. I approach my cosplay as a model would approach the runway with the designs. So when I work with my designers, I want the flowing coats. I want the slimming lines. I want the shirts darted to bring in the waist and make me look a little slimmer than what I am sometimes. And just different things. So And then I have a wonderful wig person who, you know, is a part of my glam squad. I really like that whole high fashion essence of cosplay. So I'm more glam play.
Okay. Cool.
I think I'm definitely, well, not think, cosplay accuracy. Are we on that now?
I mean, it's gonna come up several times in this, this panel.
Because
So
my husband is so crazy in a good way. Love you. When I got started, I first cosplayed as Rogue and Chun-Li, and we had a seamstress, and he was all about it needs to look like this, and the seam needs to be here. So if it looked like that on, you know, Chun-Li, it needed to look like that on me. So over the years, since I've been going to conventions for, let's just say, over 5 years, we'll just keep it at that. It's like my mentality. I personally am about accuracy. I like my cosplay to be as close to the character that I'm portraying as possible. But I've never pushed that on anyone else, ever. That is just my own thing. It's a headache sometimes, but that's what your girl does. So cosplay accuracy, I guess?
okay. Cool.
Okay, guys, I have a question because I think I fit, like, some of my cosplays fit into a lot of boxes, and we've all seen each other cosplay before. So what do y'all think that I fit under the most? Because I could do glam cosplay. I tried that last year, and I really liked it. I've tried to do canon cosplay, like, so to be accurate with my Elektra, and I did my Black Panther Couture was kind of like, you know, my own sort of creation, but it was sort of the glam. But I don't know, what category do you guys think I fall under?
You can be multiple categories, to be honest.
You can be multiple categories, but I think you fall more into glam because your Elektra, your Shuri Couture, your Silk even came out glam. I mean, you've done powerful shots, but it's still more model-esque. But you're a model, so I don't think you have a choice. You model for like majority of your life. So how do you fight that?
I'm a model. What category do I fit in?
Everybody's watching these tomatoes on the panel. Tomatoes. No, they're my friends. But thanks, Barr. I appreciate that. So everyone watching, the council has spoken. I'm glam cosplay.
He has spoken.
I mean, I would say you're a Jacqueline of all trades. You know, you got
you. Thank you.
I fit into a few multiple categories for her as well. I was thinking multiple categories.
And that's what makes you all great cosplayers. You all do fit into a lot of categories, and it's a wonderful thing to see. I mean, I love Myron, your mashups. I think I think you bring it home with your mashups.
Appreciate it.
I agree, Barr Foxx. I agree. Totally does.
Yes.
So we answered your question, Myron. So your turn.
Yeah. I mean, I do also like doing. I got a few gender bends under my belt. Got about 4 of them now, I think.
You do.
I like obscure cosplays because, like, now don't get me wrong, I will defend people who go and do like the popular characters. People love to crap on like Deadpool and Harley cosplayers. I will defend them to the death. If that's what you do, if that's what you like, do that. Me personally, if everybody else in their mama's doing this, I'm gonna go do this. Like my Rain from Mortal Kombat. Like Rain was not even in my top 3 Mortal Kombat characters, but Scorpion, he was my favorite. But everybody does Scorpion. Jax, I didn't want to be you're a black guy, you should do Jax. Like, I'm going to do Jax, but he's way on the back burner. So now Rain is in my top 3 now because I've cosplayed him and I've learned so much about him. So I cosplayed him because I knew enough about him and I liked him enough, and now he's one of my favorites. But yeah, I just like taking the road less traveled. I mean,
are you saying that you like to cosplay your way?
Why, yes. I do. Y'all so stupid.
I want to piggyback on that. I think that doing lesser known cosplayers or ones that are not super popular is what helped me put me on whatever map I'm on right now and get me recognition. Because I was like, I'm Shaman, I'm Vi. I love these characters, and I didn't want to be in the big pool of characters because people were doing it so well and doing it so great and I wanted to represent some other characters and get those in the mix. So what happened is, being that I did characters that were not popular, I became almost the only person for a while that did that character. So if you Googled that character or that cosplay, luckily I popped up. So
because you were cosplaying your way. That's why.
Cosplaying my way, right? And introducing other characters into the fold.
Yeah. I will say that that's a great conversation starter too, because my first cosplay, I was just a ninja. But then my second cosplay, kind of like I think everyone on this panel has said, I started reading about characters and looking into ones that I felt like represented me. And some of them are the obscure ones, whether they're characters that have traits that I currently feel like I embody or traits that I want to embody in the future. And so one of those was Monet St. Croix. So that was my second cosplay. Yeah, a lot of people don't even know who she is, but she was actually one of the first Muslim character under Marvel Comics that was actually part of X-Men. And I was like, whoa, she's dope. She has crazy superpowers that I like. And I always love characters that have hand-to-hand combat. But Barr Foxx, to your point, when I went to the con, specifically Dragon Con, there were some people, who nerd out just like me, and they knew who she was. And I was like, I found my tribe, And then there were other people that's like, you know what, I have no idea who you are, but I really like your cosplay. And then it gave us something to talk about. So now we could exchange information, teach people about new characters. So yeah, I really like that aspect of it, of cosplay.
Yeah. And side note, I love that you did her, because I think you're maybe one of only 3 people I've ever seen cosplay her.
Wow.
So that really stood out to me. I was like, Monet, what?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Now that we're doing this panel, that's going to change.
Right? Exactly. I want to see everybody watching cosplaying Monet St. Croix or some obscure character that nobody knows that you really, really like, that really represents
you. There you go.
Or who you want to be. Yep.
Oh, just so y'all know, Phoenix just walked by, so I wasn't just blowing a random kiss. That was my daughter walking by.
That's your smooth cosplayer move that you use all the time.
Oh yeah, I just got random women in my house just walking by. Yeah. Anyway, all right, let's hit that next slide there. We are on. Here we go. We're on the gatekeepers, aren't we?
Oh dear.
All right, so that we don't spend forever on this one, because there's another topic we gotta not spend a lot of time on.
There's so much we could talk about, y'all. There's so much.
So if y'all can just take one of these bubbles and say why you love to hate that particular phrase.
Oh God. Okay, so I'm gonna do your Black Gambit, your Black Robin. Your black, whatever, like the character wears a costume and the costume, right? Why do you have to prefix it with black? I'm the character,
right?
And you throwing up that black or throwing some type of Afrocentric name in there for me to be
the ghetto version of this character, or the hood version of this character.
Like, get a life and get yourself together and just get your head straight. That's asinine. It's insulting. It's ignorant. Let me be the character, okay? And let it go. Because being in the field that I work in, and as we've seen from television to film and all that other stuff, which we'll talk about later, they can change the color and the race and the sex on a dime. So you know the character. So just say, hey, you're Robin. Or it's Gambit. Or don't say anything.
You recognize them with otherwise, right?
Yeah. So that's the one I cannot stand at all.
And you notice it never happens anywhere else. Like, say if it's a white character and somebody Asian cosplays them, they don't say the Asian version of that character. If it's an Asian character and a white cosplayer, they don't say the white this. It happens. Only happens to be brown people. I don't know what that is.
It's the thing to do, I guess. You just say black. And some people think they're saying it with enthusiasm and motivation, which is the weird part. They're like, yo, you're black. And actually, who did Idris? It was one of the movies, and he was in, and he was like, yeah, I'm gonna be like Black Superman, and in the trailer, and I was like, oh my God, that's exactly what we're fighting against sometimes.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's okay, because there is a Black Superman, Balzad.
Yeah. There we go.
There is. Thank you. Okay. Exactly. And there are
enough for me. You guys go ahead.
I think for me, I can't see the slide. Sorry, guys. But for me, the first thing that comes to mind that bothers me is when people have a problem, if people's body shapes or sizes or weight is different than the character, like their physique, it just really, really bothers me.
Yeah.
I mean, people are built how they are built. They're born that way, in my opinion, for a purpose. So to judge somebody because their shape looks different or more full or more curvy than the character that you're used to seeing in a comic book, in the movies, or just something, you know, an image that you have in your mind, I think, like, seriously, it's too much for me. It really, really gets in.
Yeah.
Also about gatekeepers, I'm not even sure if that's even one of them on the little slide. However, I realize that cosplay is very expensive. Trust me, I know.
Yeah,
Whether you make it yourself or you commission it out or you go buy it, the pieces, the parts.
You can drop some money on it.
It's a lot of money, and the way I look at it,
we don't get that back.
Not at all. Not even a tax write-off. But you know, there are people out there that where cosplay is expensive. So if that person can only afford that one cosplay and they wear it over and over again, that's their prerogative. Don't judge them. And that's where I am with that. Like I feel like that's gatekeeping, because you're judging that person for wearing that same cosplay. And I repeat cosplays. I do. Yeah. I mean, I've worn my Catwoman over and over again, you know, but I have other costumes, you know, but somebody might not be able to afford it. It's expensive.
Yeah. I don't see any reason why not to, because, like, you put too much money into it to only wear it once. Right. I look at it like, if you ever watch a comedy show of your favorite comedian, like, and when they go on tour, they're doing that same routine. I mean, yeah, different ad-libs, different things might change. They might forget this thing. They might add in something new. But for the most part, it's the same routine. And they're going to do it at every stop of their tour. You know, so they're not going to make up a new routine every night.
Every single time, right.
They're not going to do that. But yeah, mine, the one that's been annoying me a lot lately is the whole lazy cosplay thing. I'm going to give a little, what might be a hot take here. We'll see. I don't believe that there is a such thing as lazy cosplay. Because to say that a cosplay is lazy, that implies that there's a minimum effort requirement in cosplay. Like, you have to meet this particular bar to even be considered a cosplayer. And I say that's nothing but elitism. You know, like, you don't have to, and another thing, effort. I think that's another weaponized word. We're going to talk about another one of those later. But like, people say, oh, it looks like you didn't even try. It looks like you didn't put any effort into that. I'm like, who's to say what effort is? Like, sewing. Like, I can sew a straight line and a big curve. That's it. So what takes me a week, I ain't spend a week on nothing, but if what takes me several hours in a night might take somebody else 5 minutes. So it's effort for me, not effort for them, and vice versa. There might be something that's easy for me and somebody else takes a month to do. So it's like, who's to say what isn't effort? So, like, whatever somebody did is either what they could do or what they felt like doing. You got people who can do all these amazing armor builds, but today they felt like chilling, so they're going to wear a closet cosplay. Who are you to say that's lazy? And it's for us anyway. So why am I'm not trying to press somebody else. I'm doing it for me.
Exactly. I think the issue is gatekeepers and just people out there that are like-minded with gatekeepers need to realize you don't have to like anything that we're doing. You don't have to like something cosplay. What you do need to do or not do is ruin their time or put your issues on somebody else. I'm not asking you. I didn't walk in here and specifically say, hey, you random person, what do you think about my cosplay? Does it look okay? Do you think I put enough effort into it? How do you feel about it? Did I spend enough money? That's not what we're asking. So don't come and offer that information and infringe on somebody's time, because they are there enjoying themselves. We don't know what they went through to get there. Let them have their fun. You don't have to like it. Keep pushing. And go find somebody whose cosplay you do love and offer them some compliments, because I'm sure they would like to hear them.
Yeah, and that applies to online too, for all of those trolls and haters out there who think, oh, because you put this on the internet, you are asking me for my opinion, and I'm gonna let you have it. No, I'm not stopping you from giving your. I'm not stopping you from putting your opinion up there just because it's the internet, and I can't stop you. But to tell me that I asked for it? No. If I tell you I didn't ask for it, I literally didn't. You don't get to tell me. You don't get to tell me otherwise. Like, so just I could have kept going on that one, but anyway. All right. So let's hit next slide. I believe that'd be slide number 9. I think we've already covered a lot of this. Just what Cosplay Your Way really means. If I'm looking at the right slide, Jabbar, is that right?
Yeah, we did. Mm-hmm.
Cool. All right. So let's hit the next one. Here we go.
Uh-oh.
Favorite subject.
Good God.
I know what it is.
We're about to do this topic today.
All right. It is now 6:31. Can we get through this by 6:35?
Oh, wow.
We got this.
I think so.
Okay, we're going to do it.
What is canon? Who decides what is canon?
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to just read that description, and then everybody just hit it. Just one real quick point real quick. Canon, the body of rules, principles, or standards accepted as unquestionable and universally binding in the field of study or art. Jabbar, what you got to say about canon?
You started with me first. Keep it short.
I know, because I was ready.
I know, right? The big one out the way.
I'm not a fan of the word canon. I think it has been weaponized.
True.
Again, as I stated, I work in a field where we do movie adaptations. Those characters change all the time. Sex, race. As long as the strong story arc is together, I don't think people are really missing the essence of the character. So it's not somebody cannot tell me if they read comics in 1982 or 75. That has no weight on the people that were just starting reading comics in 2000 or watching the movies. Exactly. So you can't just take what you read and what you were introduced to and say that is how it has to be.
Yeah.
Because it's changed even in the comics. So don't try to police that, and don't try to make sure everybody fits to what your image is, because you might not even have the right image. I've met so many people that was like, you should look like this. And I'm like, well, if that's the case, that character actually came out 4 years before that. I mean, what if we did canon with Wonder Woman? If people say, oh, it's the first one. The one lady that did Wonder Woman in the first movie looks nothing like the one that we ended up seeing.
Nothing.
You're absolutely right, Barr. Right.
So some people, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying that some people who have not read the comics, canon for them are television and movies.
Exactly.
So is that not considered canon? I don't understand. I mean, I've gotten told, oh, you should do Storm. I eventually did Storm, but I fought it for years. Like I legit fought doing Storm. I fought doing Vixen as well, and I eventually did it. But let's be real. I don't really look like Storm from the comics. She doesn't look like me. Mm-hmm. Storm is she doesn't look like me. She's taller. She's darker. She doesn't look like me. So I'm not canon.
Right. And that's another thing. Some people, especially when it comes
because I'm black.
Yeah,
I guess.
People of color. We just do anything. They're like, oh, it's a black person. You're black. Oh, you're canon. That's not accurate. If we're gonna do canon, then do canon. But I say let the word go. I'm not a fan of it. I think it's restrictive and it's social and it's weaponized. But I'll shut up. Your turn. Because what time is it? Yeah.
I interjected too, so go ahead, Toya.
I actually think that you guys both covered it well. I do love the fact that you say that the word has been weaponized, Barr, because it really has. And so I think if we could get further away from that and sort of touching back on the point that I made earlier about acceptance, I think that would help cosplay be actually playful and fun and keep it that way.
Play back in it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's it.
Cool. So my quick 2 cents on canon, I think Jabbar, what you were talking about, like, someone who came in earlier on in the fandom, they see this thing this way, and then the new people who came in on, like, say the movies or the TV shows, they see it this way. Like, I think there's just some humility and grace that needs to be had on both sides of it. Like, say I'm a OG Transformers fan, I'm G1 all day, I don't really care for anything else that's new. So I need to have more grace to the people who come in and their Bumblebee is a Camaro, their Optimus Prime is, blue and orange and red flame decals on it. I can't say to them, well, if you actually read the 80s comics and if you actually watch it in the, like I shouldn't do that to them. Let them have what they have. But on the flip side of that, if your Bumblebee is, the Camaro, it's okay to not like, Volkswagen Beetle Bumblebee, but don't be like, that's not Bumblebee. Like, you should understand, you can only be a fan, but for so long before you realize what you are looking at is not the original source material. So don't come in it being new and acting like a know-it-all either. So both sides need to have a little bit of humility about it.
Yeah.
So
last year I ran into a small, not an issue, but somebody came in. I was dressed as Static Shock. I love that version of Static Shock. And someone came on and was like, "Who is that? You totally missed the mark. You're not Static Shock." And I didn't even respond. You let the other people handle it. Somebody went in there and was like, "What are you talking about?" They posted pictures. They were like, he hit it. Like,
get him.
Perfect.
Get him.
The costume is perfect. And I was just reading like, wow. And then the guy came back and was like, "Oh, I didn't know that version existed." And I'm thinking, well, if you didn't know, this version was before the one you liked.
Yes.
So there was a so hardcore and guns blazing, and you didn't have the information. Why didn't you just look it up and say, "Oh, that's a different Static Shock"? I wonder.
I've never seen that one before. Right?
Google.
Listen to y'all at home. You can be wrong, but you can't be loud and wrong.
Whoa! Say it again. Say that again.
You can be wrong, but you can't be loud and wrong. We live in an information technology world that is way too easy for you to just go look it up. Take 2 seconds and look it up.
That's all. So easy.
Yes. All right. We didn't do too bad. We just hit 6:37.
2 minutes over though.
That's good considering we could have gone to 6:50 and talked about that.
We could have.
All right. Next slide, please, Travis. All right, so we're still so canon again. We can skip that one. Let's go to your slide number 12. Is being accurate different from being canon?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I will say this because I think the last time we did, I think it was at Blacktasticon when we talked about canon. That's where we set the precedent for talking about canon for way too long. Right after that, there was this incident on Facebook where some and I'm not trying to put European cosplayers in a bad light, but she was a European cosplayer and she posted a photo of her doing some anime character I'd never heard of, and some young black lady commented on this picture, said, "Hey, I love that character too. Here's my cosplay of them." And instead of saying nice or not even responding at all, she came on and said, "No, that character must always be fair-skinned. That you're not canon. You're not canon." So right after our panel, that happened, and then someone else made a video. Big shout out to Ninja Dash Cosplay. I saw his video. He basically said that if you actually go off the definition of canon, nobody's cosplay is canon, because for your cosplay to be canon, it has to have been mentioned in a canon story. So unless somebody says they mention my Bishop cosplay in their story and it's actually part of Marvel Comics, my cosplay is not canon and nobody else's is. So yes, they should be saying accurate, but even then I feel like I still don't like that, because that's to say simply because your body doesn't match the character that you are automatically not accurate. I don't believe the body has anything to do with the to me it's strictly the costume.
And
right.
I'm sorry, I was just going to say something real quick. I agree with you. When I think of cosplay accuracy, it's getting the details of the look together. If you want the costume, if you want the hair close, the hair colors, maybe the eye color, those are things are accuracy. Your size and your skin tone and all that stuff, for me, that's not even included. But what were you going to say?
I agree on that.
That's what I was going to say when I was saying that I try to do accuracy, but you cut me off, but it's okay.
That happens all the time with them, y'all. Don't worry. There's no shade happening.
Accurate if I'm cosplaying as Rogue and she is a Caucasian character. I simply meant the costume itself. I mean, that's everything, the detail, the lines, the this, the jacket, the X is on
right.
the left hand side instead of the right hand side. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I mean by accurate. It has nothing to do with anybody's body type, sex, skin color, or anything. I have never bleached my skin. I'm not doing all that. My skin will be my skin no matter what costume I'm wearing.
Wow.
And I think both of you covered it well. It really is about the costume. And I think if we say it more, and then those of you who are listening say it more, tweet it more, post it more, whatever, I think we have it's possible that we could change the tide within cosplay to where people are just accepted based on like maybe their craftsmanship. You know, maybe somebody spent a lot of time really focusing on every bead of a costume or, you know, every seam. And I mean, if they're making their stuff from scratch, listen, more power to them. You know what I mean? So to me, it is about accuracy and not so much canon. Because let's be real here. A lot of the characters, especially, you know, back in the day and even now, a lot of the people who, the creators of the characters and the people who drew them didn't necessarily draw the body types. Anatomically proportioned. Where
they didn't have cosplayers in mind when they drew them.
Exactly. When they put all those details and this and that, no, they weren't anticipating.
Or you're fighting and your top starts and stops right here for the season.
Right?
Yeah. It's not necessarily wearable fashion.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Cool to look at in drawings, but as far as like functionality, they weren't meant to be functional. They were meant to be cool to look at on a flat 2D or 1D page, however you want to describe it.
You know, Troy, you made a good point where, like, if we keep saying it, that, you know, it'll help, you know, change people's minds. I think within the cosplay community, but also outside of cosplay, because it happens inside cosplay, but my experience has been it's mostly a lot more people outside of cosplay who have this accuracy or nothing attitude. This, if it's not accurate, it's not good. Like, there are some people, and again, this is just my experience, people outside of cosplay have this, a lot of people just won't see anything but accuracy. If it's not accurate, they don't see it. If it's not accurate, it's not on their radar. If it's not accurate, it's just plain not good. And I've changed a few of my friends' attitudes, like, you know, just from seeing your posts, seeing what you do, like, I've opened my mind up about what cosplay is really about. Way too many people outside of cosplay say, cosplay is all about accuracy. I'm like, do you cosplay?
And if you look at the definition of cosplay, it doesn't say anything about accuracy or canon in it. That's something.
Or how you got the costume, how you made it, if you paid for it, if you got it from Party City.
Commission it, like, no, it's whatever.
I just don't know what the purpose is of people who are trying to hold others to this need to impress them in those ways with canon and accuracy. Because a lot of times when I talk to some people that preach that, I look at what they're doing of their first attempt or attempts that they've made, and if we wanted to break it down, then they're not accurate either. So it's just really interesting how you demand something from someone that you're not even able to produce yourself majority of the time.
Right. Excellent point.
Tell them, Barr.
Just my 2 cents.
Oh,
yes.
Shake that.
All right, 2 cents.
Yeah.
You got a hair flip.
I'm gonna throw a couple more pennies on there real quick. So going back to, like, people expecting a certain standard from other people, going back to the people who don't even do it at all. I like to say cosplay spectators, like the certain people who. Now, if you're watching this and you don't cosplay and you like cosplay, I'm not talking about you specifically. I'm talking about the ones who don't cosplay, but also just have so much more to say about cosplay. They got all this criticism of it, but they don't do it themselves. These are the ones I'm aiming this at. Like, dang, I almost lost my thought. A lot of them think that, yes, if we post something on the internet, it's for consumption in the sense that it's out there and you can consume it. It's not for public consumption in the sense that we didn't put it out there for the purpose of your consumption. Because a lot of people function off of that mentality. If you put it on the internet, it needs to be something I like. It needs to be how I like it. So I've seen somebody literally say, "This is horrible. Please take this down."
Ooh!
Not this is horrible. I'm gonna keep scrolling.
Yes.
Right.
Not this is horrible. I'm just gonna unfollow this person. No. this is horrible. Take this down. It should not even.
I mean,
come
think
up
about
on
it. It
my
actually
timeline.
took more time to post that to
Right.
actually text it out than it just keeps
it.
scrolling.
Right.
Swipe, whatever.
I'm like, you wasted more of your own energy. You could have just your scroll wheel ain't broke. Your mouth ain't broke.
Right.
Some people are just truly warped in their sense of thinking and what they should say and how to communicate with people. It's too easy to control yourself. I don't like this. Next picture. Find something you do like, instead of taking time to type something to someone who don't care or know you to try to ruin their moment. Because you might not like it, but 50 of us might love it. You're not
Right.
the end all be all. I'm not
Exactly.
either. So.
Yeah. All right, y'all. We got 4 minutes left. All right.
Wow.
So let's do this.
We
Let's
should have
hit
2 hours.
Travis. If you can hit slide number 15, I'm just going to say something really quick on that one. Yeah. Huh? We can go to 7. Okay, cool. We got 15 minutes then.
Thank you, Travis. Everybody, shout out to Travis. I know you can't see him right now, but that was his voice that you heard, and he's the man behind all of this, pulling all this together.
Yes.
Travis,
That voice in the sky. That's a blessing.
Right?
There we go.
Right?
Cool. So I'm just going to hit this one slide really quick because it's, it keeps coming up. It keeps coming up. It's like a roach. It keeps coming back even when we try to kill it. Let's hit slide number 15 real quick, Travis, please. Dreaded blackface, the B word.
Ooh.
So I'm gonna say 2 quick things, and then we're gonna keep it rolling. One,
Okay.
Dear.
impact over intent, y'all. If you're watching this at home, it doesn't matter that you were not intending to insult, people of color. It does not matter that all you were intending to do was to honor the character. The impact of it is that people who look like that character are insulted by it. You're treating our skin like a costume. Y'all can wash that off at the end of the day. We can't, and we got to worry about.
Exactly.
And I'm not going to start touching on all the craziness that's going on with. Yeah, y'all can see where I'm going with that. We don't get to wash our skin off. Not that we would want to, but we don't get to wash our skin off at the end of the day. But you can do that when you blackface. So that's one thing. 2.
Can I just say, very well said. Great point. Summarized to the point. Hopefully people get it.
Yeah, thank you. And lastly, and if you're unsure about whether or not you can do a particular skin color or not, if the skin color exists in real life, leave it alone. If it doesn't, do it. People say, "Oh, well, you could paint your skin green like the Hulk. Why can't I paint my skin brown?" When the last time you seen a green person get right?
You don't walk down the street and see a green person. That's why.
Exactly. Even Domino. Domino is the literal color white. There is nobody that white that exists. Domino is white because of her mutation.
Right.
So that's why. So if the literal color white, blue, green, purple, any color that don't actually exist on Earth, I say Earth with an F at the end. I did that for emphasis.
I was like, "Where's Earth?" Okay.
I don't know about Mars.
Any color that doesn't exist on Earth, have at it. If it does, leave it alone. Someone will recognize you if you want to be a white Michonne, if you want to be a white T'Challa, if you want to be a white Vixen, if you insert character that's black, if you get that costume, cool, then they recognize you.
We will know.
This guy, it was so interesting. This guy texted me, and I'm glad he asked. And he said, it was a white guy. He was like, "I want to do Black Panther." I said, "Fine, do Black Panther.
Yeah.
It's the issue." And he was like, "Should I paint my face under the mask?"
No. That's
why? Do we not know that you're Black Panther with the costume and the mask on? Does it not convey to the people that's looking at you that you're Black Panther? Why would you need to have a black face or darker skin when you take the mask off? And I asked him, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, you don't cease to be Black Panther when you take the helmet off.
Yeah, I was like,
I just don't know who you are anymore. I'm
drawing a blank.
I'm still T'Challa right now, actually.
Right?
But I didn't have
T'Challa doesn't have boobs. He doesn't have long curly hair.
Right? So I can be Shuri right now. I'm Shuri. But even still,
Right.
It's so in some other realm. I'm like, what are you thinking? Like, what are you trying to do? That's so unnecessary. Put on the costume, put on a helmet. You're Black Panther. We don't even know what color you are under there. Just have fun. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Cool.
People knew who I was when I had my robe on. I had the red hair, the big red hair with the white at the top, and I had the X-Men jacket on, the green and yellow. I mean, people knew who I was. You know? I mean, I didn't paint my face. I wasn't that. You know, so it doesn't change just because your skin color doesn't match.
Right.
Who your cosplaying is doesn't change.
Amen.
So no blackface, people. No. What's the undeniable
no black face, no white face, no.
There you go. Cool. All right, so let's lighten the mood a little bit. Let's skip down to slide 16, if you will, Travis.
Is that cost positive?
Cost positive, yes. Now, how do y'all remain cost positive? What do y'all do?
Cosplay with friends.
Yes.
That is something, honestly, I do want to say this. I've been going to Dragon Con for a while now. I'm just going to make it real quick. And
how many years is that? How many years?
I'll come over there and punch your pretty little face, okay?
I was just wondering. How many years?
But anyway.
I'm going to say, y'all, we've all been out to eat together, and I happened to sit in between them two one time, and it was worse than what's happening right now.
Oh, yeah, they're on their best behavior today.
Yeah. We try to be right for the camera.
Thank you. She's coming for me. She is coming for me, but I'm going to get her. Don't worry about it. Anywho, I started going to con. I was having fun, each year, and then it became it was this point where it was just photo shoots and this, and I'm not having fun anymore. I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you. I told David, I'm like, I don't know, maybe I should just take some time off, because it just Dragon Con was not it was not fun anymore. MegaCon, I was going to MegaCon in Florida, it was not fun anymore. Honestly. When I started cosplaying with Jabbar, Walter, and Larry, and we started doing group cosplays, and we just didn't care. We weren't trying to make it to no photo shoot. We were just walking around in cosplay, having fun. That is when the fun came back to me. So for me, that's positive, cosplaying with friends. And I honestly sincerely wanted to say that because I wasn't having fun anymore. So, cosplaying with friends. That's good. Even if they cuss you out, like Barr cussed me out.
Out of love, maybe?
Out of love.
What'd you say, baby?
What'd you say, Myra?
That Apache Chief Brock. Oh, goodness. Oh.
Well, part of the fun with cosplaying with friends is we have so many mishaps because we don't do the dress rehearsals. We don't do the dress rehearsals like we should. And we just have
and sometimes you will get cussed out. I have cussed him out. He has cussed me out. Walter's gotten cussed out. Larry's got. We've all had our fair share.
Yes,
but
that's a special kind of relationship right there.
Well, we're special people. We're special people.
Oh, have we been doing it now?
I've not been cussed out of a cosplay before. I'm just missing something.
In a good way.
Toya's been cussed out too, so don't leave her out. So we can play.
Thank you. I've been cussed out.
Well, Myra, we're gonna have to cuss you out.
Wow. Not on camera, please. This needs to go on my YouTube channel, so let's not do that. All right, you know what? I'm gonna do some a little off the cuff here because I know we're all missing our favorite event. The reason why we're even doing this virtually is because we're not at Dragon Con. I'm gonna wrap this up with a question that's not on the slide. If all things were the same, if everything was safe, and Dragon Con wasn't canceled, and there was nothing preventing you from participating in Dragon Con full stop like you normally do, where would you be and what would you be doing right now at Dragon Con?
Oh, 7 o'clock. We will be switching to our probably third costume, and on our way to the last photo shoot of the night, and then ready to party and just see all the people that's bringing their flavor. I mean,
I'm gonna interject. I would be begging Barr to be like, can we please go to the food court and get some food before we go? Because he doesn't like to eat at Dragon Con, and I don't play those games. So I would like to eat and then go out and party for the rest of the night. Thank you.
You just need water and some insole. You don't need any food.
I can't play those games.
Yeah, we need some food, Eddie.
I do help.
I would be taking a nap. I'll be taking a nap, y'all.
A nap?
A nap? I need a nap so I can refuel and re-up for the evening events.
That's an old lady.
At 7 o'clock. Look, at 5, I'm eating. By 6, 6:30, I'm relaxing, and then I need a nap before I keep going. Personally, that's just.
I'm with you on that. I might as well just call me old too.
Oh my god!
Thank you, cosplayer.
I must be really old because I'm never out past midnight at Dragon Con.
What?
Like, I've always checked in, like I'm back at the hotel or I'm driving home or something. Because see, I'm an introvert who plays the extrovert on TV. So I love y'all, but I gotta get away from y'all at some point. I need to read. Like if I don't go take a nap in between, like
is it 7 o'clock yet?
If I don't go take a nap and recharge, then I would be like, man, I'll see y'all tomorrow. I'm tired.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta recharge my people battery, basically.
We don't go to bed till like 4 or 5, and we're up again at 10 and hitting it. I probably get a max of 8 hours over the whole weekend. 8 hours total. It's just too many beautiful things and people. I cannot. I'm energized. It's adrenaline for me.
So Jabbar, if I just said I wanted to take a nap at 7 p.m. and you were ready to go out, what would you say to me?
I would say.
Go ahead. I want you to
Travis, if you have a dumb button right now, get that ready.
Super Fit With Ree, you're so sweet and beautiful and gorgeous. I think we will have a better time utilizing the time now instead of sleeping and then shifting everything to later.
BS.
Yes.
He is lying.
I have not even been around y'all at that time at Dragon Con, and
we would get cussed out.
In my heart, I know that's a lie.
You can't prove it, Myra.
What?
He can't prove it. It's what I said. Nobody can prove it. I would be very.
I believe you would have said it, but in a whole lot more harsh words.
Yes.
He would
have
been
more volume.
That was the PG translation.
I'm going to take a nap right now. I'll catch up with you around 9. Is that okay?
He laughed because he knew it was right there. He's about to start cussing her out.
Thank you. It was there. He wanted to.
You know what? I've always wondered when the party actually stops. Because here's the thing: the one time I stayed in the Marriott, right? You know, and of course I would check out before midnight. I would wake up to use the bathroom, and it's like 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, and I still hear the party going downstairs.
Yeah.
But
real talk.
But if I wake up the next morning, somehow or another, like 7 in the morning, nobody's down there. So I'm like, at what point do they all check out? It stops at some point.
So around 5:45, 6, it starts really getting to the point where we need to go to sleep and get up by like 9 or 10. So between 6 and maybe 9:30.
9:30 or 10.
Yeah, it's a little less. But
so I've heard. I don't stay out that late.
Right.
I've heard.
Cool. So we got less than 60 seconds here.
Toya.
You see that hard roll?
We got less than 60 seconds?
Yeah. Last remarks, closing remarks, anything like that?
R.I.P. Chadwick Boseman. We miss you. We love you for your legacy. May Black Panther live on forever. Wakanda forever.
That's it, y'all.
Super Fit With Ree Cosplay. I have a YouTube channel, Instagram, Facebook.
All of that.
Get fit with me.
Follow Barr Foxx everywhere. Barr with 2 R's, Fox with 2 X's.
Oh.
Everywhere.
Follow me and follow Cosplay Your Way. Definitely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Send me your pictures so I can spotlight you on my Cosplay Your Way page.
Yes.
Love cosplay.
There we go.
Pictures.
Cool. 7 o'clock on the dot. It has been fun, y'all. I love y'all. Thanks everyone at home for acting the fool with us and putting up with us for the whole hour. And y'all enjoy the rest of Dragon CONpilation.